Welcome to the Website Types tutorial, Common Websites that are often built. We'll be discussing the three main website types: brochure, blogs, and e-commerce. The first type we're going to be discussing are brochure websites, which are often called static websites. They're made to share information, they're easy to build, and they're usually not interactive. The first example of a brochure website that we have is called tautogsrestaurant.com, and you can see this is the welcome page. On their main page here, you can see that they have a picture of the restaurant, and then on the left, a very simple menu. I think it talks about who they are, and then it has a little menu section here where you can see what they serve. They have weekly editions, beers, wines, and events. They also have a contact us page, which allows you to interact. It's the only form of interaction on the page. Our second example of a brochure website is cafemocha.com. This is a site that's been built in iWeb. It's a very simple site. Like the restaurant, it has an About Us page. It has a menu section, which is very simple, but it's different because you actually have to download the menu as opposed to actually see it on the page. They also have catering services available, and since this is a coffee site, they have a lot of information about their coffee. So you have a page that details information on their coffee types. You can also see a map here in the location section, which shows you the location of the store. Again, this is a very simple website, a brochure website that shares information about the business. The last type of brochure website that we'll be talking about is carspa.net. You can see here that they have a lot of information about their business in terms of their services, the locations that they have across multiple states. They have information about careers, their specials, their programs. This is a very simple website again, and brochure again is static. It just shows you information about what they sell or serve. The next type of website type that we'll be discussing are called blogs. They're the shortened form of the term weblogs. They're very common. They share information like images and different media types, and they permit interaction with their viewers. Before we get into the examples of blogs, we're going to go ahead and show you a blog in action. In this case, this is WordPress. This is an example of a site that I've created, and you can see an example post here. There's some text, and there's the image. In this case, you can see the header and the title, and then at the bottom of the page, you can see where they can leave a reply. Next, we're going to show you how you add the text and everything with the administrator dashboard. Here's the WordPress administrator. This is where you do your managerial things for your blog. In this case, we're looking at the section for moderating or editing your posts. In this case, you can also delete the post. But we're going to go ahead and show you the post that we were showing a little earlier. There's the picture of the orchids and the text. Next, we're going to go ahead and show you how to add a new post. And we're going to give it a title. After you add your title, we're going to go ahead and add some media to make the post a little more interesting. In this case, we'll add an image. Now, you don't have to add an image. You can also add a video or an audio track. It's a very flexible and easy to use interface, you'll see. It's very quick to use. So here, we're going to add the image, and then we're going to add some text to complete the post. After you finish your post, you can publish it, or you can preview it. You can also save it to publish at a later date. But in this case, we're going to go ahead and publish it so that we can see what it looks like on the web immediately. Now, WordPress is a very popular piece of software. You'll find that it has thousands of themes which you can modify for your own design needs. You can also extend its capabilities by using plugins. Again, it's a free piece of software, and it's probably one of the best solutions you'll find to build your website. So here you can see that we're going to show how the post looks, and there's the post. You can see the picture, and there's my text. The first example we have here is tvmsnbc.com, and this is a blog because it's basically an opinion being expressed by a writer. And then at the bottom of the page, you can see that there's discussions which are being held by the viewers and the writer in some cases. It looks a little complex, but for the most part, you're going to see that there's going to be a story, and then there's going to be a discussion discussing what's been written. The next example of a blog website is Mashable.com. This is a very complex looking site as there's a lot of information being shared on the page. But again, just like any blog, you can see that they have a topic that there's a writer going to be writing about, and then you're going to see that they have, as you scroll down, discussion at the bottom, which allows users to discuss what's been written. Now at the top of the page here, we saw that there was also interaction with the social media and even a graph that you can see. This Last example of a blog is called soulpancake.com. And here you can see that this is kind of an artsy site with topics being art, culture, science, philosophy, spirituality, and humor. They have a video section which is actually linked out to their YouTube page, and it basically shows all the video comments instead of just simple articles that are written on a web page. They also have a fairly large uh, discussion section, and this discussion section is probably moderated by several people instead of just one person. But they basically keep control of discussions from going out of control and keep them on topic, that kind of thing. But you can see that the blog basically isn't a place of interaction between a user and a viewer, and it allows you to share more than just discussions, but also allows you to share images, video, possibly audio as well. The last type of website types we'll be discussing are e-commerce websites. They're the online stores. They have various levels of complexity. They often cross international lines, and you'll see that they sometimes will combine the functionality of both the brochure and the blog website types. The first example of a e-commerce website type is Amazon.com. We had to show this because it's probably the most successful and probably the most complex and largest of the e-commerce websites that you're going to find on the internet. It's got a little bit of everything. It's got books, auto, you name it. They sell it probably on Amazon.com. Not only that, they also provide lots of different services. They even let you sell your own things on Amazon.com as well. So again, this is a complex website in that they have to take care of shipping requirements, international taxes and rules and regulations, as well as different services like wish lists, birthday card lists, reminders, that kind of thing. But e-commerce sites, they can vary in complexity, and this is going to be an example of one of the most complex you'll find on the internet. Our second example of an e-commerce website is whisperdesign.com. This is a site built with PrestaShop. PrestaShop is an e-commerce solution, a free e-commerce solution, and you'll find that it's a fairly complete one. In this case, the website that you're seeing actually sells window treatments. We're going to show you what happens when you add an item to the cart using PrestaShop, and you can see it kind of go there and into the cart. Then when you hover over it, you can see what's in your cart. We're going to click on View Cart so you can see the actual checkout process. And there is a summary of how you check out and purchase your item. Now, there's also an administrator backend for managing the store, but we just wanted to show you briefly how the PrestaShop works. You'll find that PrestaShop is a great solution for building your online store. Our third e-commerce example is stcroixcoffeetea.com. This is a site built using OpenCart. OpenCart is another free e-commerce solution. You can see here that it's used to build a coffee store so you can purchase coffee online. We're going to go ahead and add an item to your cart so we can see that in action real quick. So click on Add to Cart for some ground coffee, and then you can see a notification that something's been added to your cart. Now this is an interesting website because it includes the three different types we've been discussing this entire time, both the brochure type with information on the services and the products of the store, and it also has a blog for interaction with your users. You're going to find that both OpenCart and PrestaShop are great solutions for building your online stores. So in summary, the brochure, blog, and e-commerce website types aren't the complete list of website types that you may want to create. They cover most of the reasons that you would want to build a website, though. So pick the one that best works for you and check out our educational channels and guides to help you build your website project. Thanks again for listening to our tutorial on common website types.